What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far, wherever you're at in the world. In this reaction, we'll be reacting to the 11th episode of Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. The multi-titles for this episode are depressing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm already upset. I'm actually already upset. The multi-titles to this episode will be Miyuki Shirogane wants to make her confess part 4. Tsubame Koyasu wants to say no. I hate it here. My man Ishigami can't fucking win! And the third title is Miyuki Shirogane wants to make her confess part 5. Okay, I'm actually pretty upset right now, so we're gonna just go ahead. Last episode, so obviously the big shocker fest was Ishigami's accidental confession with the heart-shaped cookie, which implied that he was essentially confessing his feelings at the same time, though he did not realize that that's what he was doing, but that's basically what happened. And this has now set off a string of events now, because if he gets rejected, Miyuki is pretty confident that a confession to Kaguya will also be awkward and out of place and not right to do, because someone in the circle has now been forever hurt, at least at that point in time in their life, by a situation of rejections. So this is going to be a heavy episode. It's going to be a heavy episode. But in other more lighter parts of the last episode, we did have the reveal of Chika's little sister, who is in the vice president of her middle school student council, and she has a dumb crush on Miyuki, and she almost lost her life. Kaguya was pretty ready to end her life, and we were about to have a school days moment up in there. So yeah, but fortunately that did not happen. And all in all, the events of last episode have definitely set us on a path to chaos and conclusion in a way this episode, and it would appear that Ishigami is not going to win. So I'm pretty upset. But before we start the episode, and trying to keep myself not from being upset, this is Saturday, and it is the weekend, and I use Kaguya to talk about how the week ratings are doing. So we are going to talk about the ratings, and actually, if you give me just a moment, I'm going to pull up Anime Trending too, because I said I was going to start using their comparisons also. So, alright, so I have their comparisons up. And alright, so of course our primary is Anime Corner, so a big thank you to Anime Corner as always, and to all the respondents. We had over 13,000 respondents this time, as most of the people who went to sleep are now coming back to do ratings, as we are at the end of the season for many of our shows now, with many shows only having 1 or 2 episodes left. So, week 11 from June 10th to June 17th, results ending yesterday. Your boy Kang Ming has taken and reigned supreme. It is the first time your boy Kang Ming has been in the number 1 spot. Again, I understand that another phenomenal episode that they just had, and they are also getting ready to wrap up their season. I don't know if this was the last week of their episode. I think every show has at least one more. But yeah, congrats to your boy Kang Ming. Still have to watch it. Probably won't be able to watch it until the spring season of shows is done, but apparently the community has loved it, and it has taken the number 1 spot over from Data Live, which in the shocking turn of things took the number 1 last week due to the great presentation by Kurumi. Data Live still had an amazing showing and only lost by 0.01% of the votes, coming in at 10.35% in the number 2 spot compared to the 10.36 of the number 1 anime. So basically they were tied, and just Data Live has continued to deliver. Actually, prior to me doing this reaction, I just did my Data Live reaction, and we got to see Kurumi's pass, and it is very possible that we may see another, Date Alive is going to just sit here until the end of the season at this point. And in third place with 7.56% of the votes with Anime Corner is Kaguya-sama Love is War. It returns into the number 3 into the top 3 spots, right at number 3 after the crazy situation that transpired in the last episode that I just talked about that now I'm about to be upset about. In number 4, Tomodachi Game fell one thing as we did see the conclusion to the third game, and as y'all now know, Group C did win after all because Yuichi's a monster, but it wasn't by the way that I thought it was going to be, but it was still enough of a twist. We also had a bombastic twist at the end of Tomodachi Game with Yutari now being held captive and a new game being thrown there. So Tomodachi is continuing to ride strong and will ride strong as a top 10 until the end of the season. Well deserved. In number 5, Spy X Family. So again, I told y'all this last week. The honeymoon phase with many of these shows is once it's not doing just over-the-top things with what it set out to do, the community tends to kind of mellow out just a little bit. And what we're seeing here is that mellow out. Every episode of Spy X Family has remained a 10 out of 10. It is still an absolutely phenomenal show, but with such a strong season, it's perfectly fine to see other shows get their shine in the top 3 spots. And so Spy X Family is in 5th, but I keep telling people Spy X Family and Kaguya-sama have continued to notoriously be the strongest shows this season. And regardless of what spot they end up in these week-by-week ratings, the only ratings that will truly end up mattering will be the season ratings after all of the animes are complete. In number 6, a big shoot-up for Rising of the Shield Hero that was almost at risk of falling out of the top 10. It has now put its way back into the top 6. It's in the number 6 spot with 4.52% of the votes. We definitely had another great episode this week. And, even though the situation with the rating for the season collectively may be a situation of too little too late, the second arc definitely saved this second season, and I continue to be happy that the community is responding favorably to those efforts. In number 7, Summertime Rendering, I actually will finally be watching through the whole show collectively this coming week. So hopefully by the next time I do this Kaguya rating, which will also be my last rating for the season, as the final episode will be dropping next week for Kaguya. Hopefully I'll be able to talk a little bit more about that, but you guys continue to love it. 4.28% of the votes. Aharen is indecipherable. I have not watched, I think the final episode has dropped now for the show. I don't know if it has, I'm sorry. But it has continued to deliver in a way that I was not expecting, and I said this the other week. I'm very surprised at how well it has been doing and how well received it has been, and it is in number 8. A couple of Cuckoos, which actually was in number 11 last week, has now put its way back up to number 9. It has cracked back into the top 10 after we had a really good and wholesome episode between Sachi and Erika and Nagi. I was very happy with that episode, and it was very wholesome between the sisters. So I continue to love watching this show week after week. Again, a late show, so when the rest of the shows wrap up this season, a couple of Cuckoos will still be carrying forward. So yeah, and I also believe that there's more than 12 episodes, and I think I just said it the other week, and just that quickly I forgot how many episodes it has. So yeah, we're not going anywhere anytime soon with a couple of Cuckoos though. So hope you guys continue to enjoy the show. And then in the final spot, Love After World Domination, the show that should never have been as good as it has been, is directly in the number 10 spot with 3.72% of the votes. So this is your Anime Corner top 10 reactions, and more or less I relatively agree with the list for this week, minus of course my biasness to Spy X Family and Kaguya-sama. But again, big congratulations to your boy Kangming for taking its number 1 spot for the first time this entire season. Now, what I did say starting last week, because of my anger with how the community treated Shikamori is not just a cutie, is that I was going to start doing back-to-back comparisons, and I'm just going to briefly take away the Anime Corner one and put it the Anime Trending one, which is another major board for animes, and also kind of gives you a little thing of how the community's feeling on their ratings. So in the top 10, as you can see on the screen, Summertime Rendering is in number 1. Kaguya-sama Love is War is in number 2. Tomodachi Game is in number 3. Spy X Family is in number 4. Date Alive Season 4 is at number 5. Shikamori is not just a cutie, even without having an episode, still ranked. So it ranked in the number 6. So, and as it rightfully should, because the community as much as it cucked Shikamori. I'm just so happy to see it continue to stay on a list. Shikamori's not, Shikamori's not just cutie number 6. Your boy Kangming in number 7, and that's the big change here. Your boy Kangming tends to rank considerably lower here than it has been on Anime Corner, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Komi Can't Communicate, another show that has not cracked the top 10 in Anime Corner, not once, continues to consistently stay on the top 10 list for anime trending, and it is a top 10 show, so I'm very happy to see Komi is there. Number 9, Aharen-san, and number 10, Aoshi. So with that said, these are your top 10 for anime trending. And again, I hope that all of you enjoyed your shows for this past 7 days. So with that said, that is our ratings, and the time has come. The time has come. The time has come. As a recap for the titles of this episode today, it is Miyuki Shirogane Wants to Make Her Confess Part 4. Tsubame Koyasu Wants to Say No, and Miyuki Shirogane Wants to Make Her Confess Part 5. So I'm probably going to be upset around the middle part of this episode. I'm very sorry. I might walk off screen. I've been rooting for my man Ishigami, and it's now clear that he's not going to win. So I'm just going to see how this is going to play out. And yeah, let's get this started. All right. We're starting the episode in 3, 2, 1. The second day. Like a man. I'm done. Oh. The Phantom Thief. What the hell is this? Persona? Persona 5? What we doing? Just wasting trees now. Maybe they just flew away. Who knows? Oh. Bruh! Persona! Thank you, Chica. We have faith in you. Man, I'm not about to be happy that they about to cuck my man Ishigami again. Man, let me make sure I don't got nothing near me that I can throw. Tsubame, I understand. If he's not your type, I'm not mad at you for that. But I'm just tired of seeing my man get cucked like this over and over again. Hate this damn show, bro. I won't. I love her so much. Aww. You a damn lie. They are absolutely true. They're the same people. Oh my goodness. Bro, just ask for a heart and move on with it. We running out of time. Just do it. Like, seriously. All living things. Hey! Bruh. He about to mess this damn thing up. This is about to look rejected. I said rejected, deject. Oh. What? Bruh. Oh man. So you would give it a chance, but your circumstance. Yeah. Completely. Bruh! No! No! Kaguya, you got the wrong name. Bruh, she's terrifying. Damn. And it was an accident. It was a complete accident. What? Why does her eyes look like that? Like, what is happening? Ah! Look at my man coming through. Is on hold. Yeah, she messed it up. So we're gonna get the ending for them in the finale. It's gonna be a no, but I mean, I get it. She doesn't know. It's so hard to say what's right or wrong in that situation. But if the compatibility isn't there, I mean, just say it straight up so that we don't have this drag on. Unlike these two, where it's just the writing's just on the wall. Look at that. Damn, my man! What a Chad. Bruh, they're just walking. Bruh, they're just walking down the damn. I mean, he's already met his resolve that someone gonna have to confess before this damn festival's over. Wow! Yet. Yet. You will be. Y'all already are. Yo, my man is freaking Chad right now. Please. Yo, this man is. How does she know this? Yo, that's what I'm saying. Alright, that's creepy now. Yep. Dang! Yo! They about to. Oh, man. Talking about people being in bed and everything. I knew my man was embarrassed. But y'all handled that well, though. Where? Oh, boy. I was worried for you, too, I ain't gonna lie. Bruh. Please! I mean, I want it to, but I also don't want it to be forced, so I hope the best for that situation. I really do. Ha ha! They are seriously helping. Hey, my best girl. Now all I gotta do is confess. We can move on. Oh. He's... Oh. Oh. Oh no! No! And he would take it, and he should. I mean, your education and your career is always supposed to be the number one most important thing. But he's probably gonna. But I guarantee you, he's gonna wait for an answer first. But oh, and that's why we're getting the hour next week. Oh. Yo, this episode, let me tell you, there's two crises happening back to back right now. Bro, I want to animate with this as the premise too. I ain't gonna lie. This ending is so... Well, guys. We have arrived at the end of this third season. And as we prepare for next week's final episode, two things. First, and as much as I hate to admit this, I think the writing's on the wall that Tsubame is going to have to say no. She's going to give herself a chance, but obviously, I won't even say that I'm one that can really talk about love or anything like that, because unfortunately I recently just saw an end to to my engagement and, you know, things like that. And being that it was like it was pretty much my first real full relationship, you know, it's kind of hard to say how one feels how you tell if you're really compatible with a person or not. In Tsubame's case, I feel her. I do. And so if the answer ends up being no, and that's the way it has to be, even though I know we didn't know how bad the rejection could have actually been, I appreciate the fact that she is taking the time to try to make sure that she gives an answer that is proper, and it looks like she's going to settle this at the festival. So even though she did run away at that scene, she's going to take the time to try to put it together while also making sure that she does not drag him on, because you kind of do know if you feel that compatibility or not, or at bare minimum feel compatibility enough to at least try to go on dates and see if it works out. What I'd preferably like to see is for them to go on a few dates, and I think those few dates are going to happen at this festival, basically, and have been so far with the time that they've spent with each other, and you could classify that as a date. And when you do dates, it does help you gauge the likability of each other, if you're compatible, if you're really feeling each other, and so on and so forth. And then from there, you more or less can make a decision if you want to actually engage in a full relationship where you are actually a couple, or if you feel that you should just stay as friends. It does appear that next week we're going to get a resolution to two critical things here. We are going to get the resolution to the Ishigami matter, and we are going to get the resolution to, or at least we're going to know if we are going to proceed with a Kaguya and Miyuki relationship or not. And he's just received an acceptance letter in the middle of the festival, and he's going to take an early out because that's what he wants to do for his education and his future career. So a lot of hard decisions are coming up in the next episode, and I think everything has been laid out in a way that it has to be laid out. I am very pleased overall with how this episode was portrayed. I think that the episode was masterfully done. And, you know, obviously a big chunk of my focus this episode was on Ishigami. I hope the best for my man. I think we all do. Ishigami has always caught the short end of the stick, and it just so happens that he ended up being interested in pretty much one of the most popular people, you know, outside of really Kaguya and Miyuki and them. So, and if it has to be a no, I just hope that it's done in a way that they can remain good friends. They obviously have good chemistry with one another, but there is such a difference as having good chemistry as friends and having good chemistry as a romantic interest. And that is going to be the key. Will Tsubame, during their next outings that they're going to do at this festival, will she see a romantic path forward with him, or will she do what needs to be done so that it doesn't drag on? And, you know, the thing about love is someone always ends up hurt at the end of it. You know, so if he wins her, if Ishigami wins her, then obviously the people who have drooled over her will be hurt, and some people may be confused. If he loses her, he will be hurt, and in a way, I think she will be hurt too, because she is a good person, and I do believe that she remains a good soul at the end. And the way that she said that, you know, she finally went up to him and said, "Let's hang out and let's talk first." I think in that conversation, they're going to settle everything out. So, and as long as it's done in a mature way, in a way that is befitting of the friendship that they've had up to this point, then as hurt as I'm going to be for my man Ishigami, I can definitely accept that. And I look forward to seeing how that is going to wrap up. I'll be honest, I was a bit nervous this episode, but it was nice seeing those two talk after the whole confession that happened the last episode at the end. That was really my biggest focus this episode, and we'll just see how the cards play themselves out next week in regards to Ishigami and Tsubame. So that leaves us with Kaguya and Miyuki and what's going to happen. Also, I know y'all noticed I've been talking very less peppy, and it's not because I'm not excited. I haven't been excited about this episode. When I get into a point of a show that I'm actually really getting serious about whatever's going to happen, which is where I'm at now, I understand the weight that hung on this episode, and the weight that hangs on the final episode. And next week I might be even quieter, because as you all should have heard by now, the final episode of Kaguya, which will air on time next week, is a 1 hour episode. Now, I do not know if that's a true hour or if that's an hour of broadcast time, which normally equates to about 46 or 47 minutes. But either way, if it's getting an hour block, that inevitably means that we are going to get a resolution of some sort. And we might get a resolution or progress on both. And actually, with this type of episode that's about to happen, there's going to be a resolution one way or another. We're definitely going to get the resolution to Ishigami and Tsubame next episode. But Kaguya and Miyuki is a lot more complicated. There's a lot more hanging on the balance, and going to another school, I mean, let alone Stanford, which, as y'all know, it's way away from Japan. There's a lot hanging on the balance here. So, guys, this has been a treat. This entire season has been a treat. This spring, we've been treated to greatness with Spy X Family. We've been treated to greatness with Data Live. We've been treated to a lot of great romantic-related comedies, and just what a treat. Again, just what a treat this spring has been. But I've continued to say that Spy X and Kaguya have been the two best shows of this season. I still say that to this very moment, that Kaguya and Spy X Family are my two best shows of this season by a long shot. And I cannot wait to see, with the tension and all, how the last episode is going to play out. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this reaction. I hope you guys have had a blast with this third season. And next week, it all comes to an end. What will the response from Kaguya be? What will Tsubame's final answer be? Will Chika crack the case of the Phantom Thief? Who knows? But I cannot wait for next week. So, if you did like this reaction, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, including my last reaction to the show next week, hit the bell icon. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you guys next week for the 12th and final episode of Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic, otherwise the third season. Until then, catch you later.